Yo, what's up? Welcome to another episode of Mostly Low Budget Movie Reviews. I am your host, Clarence. Thank you for tuning in. In today's episode, I check out the final major horror release right before Halloween called Pray for the Devil, but not that Pray, the other one. Now, this is another one that I was looking forward to just based on the trailers. It's been a little bit of time since I've seen a good exorcism movie. I think the last really good one I saw was called The Cleansing Hour on Shudder. Yeah, that one was really good. Go listen to that episode and check that out if you want to know what that one was all about. Now, this trailer, it kind of promised something that was going to be like really dark and scary. Exorcism, demon possession, that kind of stuff can be really scary if it's done correctly. So, what is this one about? Well, we start out with this little girl praying, and her mom is banging on the door. Turns out her mom has some sort of mental issues. However, the little girl, Anne, now is a nun and is telling this story via this job interview. Even though the doctors say that her mom was schizophrenic, she believes her mom was possessed, and basically she became a nun and made exorcism her calling in life. So she gets in this newly opened exorcism school. However, only priests are actually allowed to perform exorcisms. Fast forward, she helps out some other patients, and there's this little girl that she builds a really good rapport with and all that good stuff. So one night, they're performing an exorcism on her, and spoiler free, Sister Han has to come in and step in and help out. Now, while helping, she realizes this might be the same demon that possessed her mother all those years ago. And that's where I'll stop, because from there, the priest recognizes her skills and he agrees to train her, which is cool because she really wants to help this little girl because she was unable to help her mother all those years ago. So what did the pros think? Well, they came in at a 17% on 18 reviews, with the audience at 68% on 50 reviews on the Rotten scale. So we have a pretty big gap here between the pros and the audience right now as of this recording anyway. But what did I think? Well, let's get to these positives. First off, there were some pretty solid performances. And no, I'm not going to roast the little girl today. She was really good when she was in and out of the possession scenes. Sister Anne also, I can't think of the actress that played Sister Anne, and I'm not going to go back and do any research. You guys know how I get down by now. She was really good in her possession stuff as well. The setup was decent enough, and they did have some solid effects for all the exorcism scenes and some unsettling body contortion type stuff. But yeah, let me get to these negatives. For me, the story never really comes all the way together to be like really a coherent, scary situation. I mean, I get the point, but they hint at some bigger picture things that they really don't address all the way. When you have a little girl and a priest and exorcism, you know it's going to get compared to probably the greatest one in that subgenre, The Exorcist. And this one just feels like a really light version of it. I know this is PG-13, so maybe that's why they went with this. But they were really heavy on the jump scares here and not really diving into how creepy that situation should look. And it seemed like that was the most used trick out of the bag. They really have anything else to go with other than jump scares. The ending really didn't have any weight to it for me, again, because the story really didn't pull me in and it wasn't all that engaging. Actually, it kind of got a little boring in a couple of parts. And then they did this kind of cliffhanger type thing, which I don't even think they needed to do. I mean, the story was over. They told the story they wanted to tell. If they wanted to provide one last scare, it would have been far more effective to do that in the school before she leaves. But now I'm just picking it apart. So let me bottom line this one for you. Did I enjoy it? It's a no for me. I agree with the critics on this one, but I put this one right at a 30% on the Rotten scale. It's not that bad. A few scary images, some decent effects. Even though the body contortion stuff, that's been done a lot, it's always going to be an effective tool when, the way they, shoot that, if it's done correctly and, the body contortion stuff is done well here. Again, some solid acting. I mean, it looks good. There's nothing wrong with the actual production piece of it. Unfortunately, the story was just pretty bland and seemed like they wanted to go somewhere or say something, but never really got around to really diving into it. Like I said, it's not any real scares here unless you like being startled, because like I said, jump scares, you're just being startled. They're playing loud noise or get real quiet. Yeah, anyway, the guys heard me talk about that ad nauseum. Otherwise, this is, okay. Uses the same old tricks from other movies that have done way better, especially this shouldn't be worse than a movie that was shot, that came out in the late 70s. This really should have elevated it if they were going to go there. But yeah, you're going to be better off staying at home and streaming something really good. Or if you want to, take a chance and go see something that's going to definitely have an effect no matter which side you lay on, Terrifier 2, that's the movie to go to the theater to see, preferably if it's a showing, with a lot of people, so you can hear all the audible gasps and and laughter, and see if anybody actually gets sick while they're watching it, because that's what I've been hearing about it. So yeah, Terrifier 2, but like I said, that's on the extreme end of horror. You really got to be prepared to go see something like that. But yeah, otherwise, there's plenty of stuff to stream at home. In fact, I'm going to be doing a couple more movies that came out recently, and yeah, we'll see if those are any good, and I'll put those up this weekend. But yeah, anyway, now I'm rambling. If this is your first time, don't make it your last. This has been a Podbean production, mostly low-budget movie reviews with Clarence. Again, appreciate you. Thank you for the support. This seems to be a pretty good streaming month for me. Definitely appreciate all the love. And yeah, I'm going to be back again this weekend for sure. This is the last weekend where I have an excuse to do as much horror as I want. So I'm definitely going to take advantage of that. I already have another episode done with, I believe it was some sort of found footage movie, I think it was. But anyway, we'll get into that in the next episode. Thank you once again for tuning in. I appreciate it. And I will see you guys next time. Peace.